Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Super Game Brothers podcast, a weekly podcast about the board games and video games that we are playing. We play a ton of games. My name is David, and I'm one of your hosts, joined every single week by my brother in my board game room. Devin, how are you doing today?
Oh, yeah. Doing good. Trying to figure out how to adult properly currently. I'm watching our siblings as our parents are out of town, and
yeah.
I'm realizing life has a lot of maintenance, always.
Yep.
If you finish one thing, there's always something else you could be doing right now. Like, I did my laundry, 2 loads of laundry. I looked at my bedding. I was like, well, I should probably do that. So I had to wash my bed sheets. And then I was like, well, I have a blanket on top of those. Let me wash that. Maybe I should cut my hair now and shower. And so I can be clean in the clean bed sheets. And that's that's 10% of all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but just cascades.
Yeah, and then I'm like, did I feed myself today?
Right.
So that's an issue.
Kind of reminds me of like The Sims, the video game where you have to use the restroom and feed yourself, and you have to like pay for your house, and then you can upgrade your home and buy new furniture. But to do that, you have to go to your job and then somehow find time for social time to have friends and stuff. I think that's one reason I've never really got into like a simulation game like that. It's just because I'm like, man, I'm already trying to maintain an actual life. It seems like a chore to try to maintain like a virtual life. But
yeah, it's crazy. Busyness all around.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Let me think what else is up with me. I'm playing a lot of games, doing a lot of tech things. Been trying to get outside in the sun a little bit. It's been very nice weather, which is nice, before it gets too hot.
A lot of people say like 30 minutes of sunshine right when you wake up is like one of the best things to do for your body.
Yeah, I used to wake up, and just walk outside, and they call it grounding yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Put your bare feet on the grass, and then you let some sunlight into your pupils, basically.
Just stare right into the depths of the sun.
I don't know that it did anything for me, but
so
I did
burn your retinas.
Yeah, I've had to wear glasses ever since.
Yeah. Well, people do much weirder things in the sun and bleaching and stuff. So, yeah, that's probably good. Vitamin D is good. I take a vitamin D supplement every day because I don't think I get in the sun quite enough.
I love supplements. I love the ones that work.
Yeah, I don't take many. Just fish oil, vitamin D are the only 2 I currently take.
I'm going to get you on creatine and magnesium.
Take the creatine and the magnesium 3 and 8.
All day. Yes, sir. Liposomal.
But, supplements are like some of the most expensive things too, especially if you want high quality ones.
Oh yeah, it's just another form of maintenance, and you have to pay for them.
It's like an oil change for your body. Like, okay, if I have this fish oil in my body, my like joints will work better and my digestive tract will work better. It feels like an oil change. I'm like, man, I already have to change the oil of 2 cars. Didn't know I had to change the oil of this body every night.
Yeah, but if you don't change your body oil, you can't drive the 2 cars.
Or if I try, like my knees will ache or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in taking care of the one thing we have that is ours in this life. But I obsess over it a little bit and have wasted a ton of money on some nonsense. But yeah, I don't know. What's new with you?
Yeah, not a ton this week. My oldest son turned 8 this week, so we had his birthday party on Monday, which was fun. Just another realization that time treks forward when you have an 8-year-old all of a sudden. But for his birthday, he wanted to have a Fortnite birthday party. And so we're like, okay, how do we do that? A lot of his friends' parents don't let him play Fortnite. And we don't usually let him play games that has voice chat with other people either. So we understand that. But he really wanted a Fortnite birthday party, so we kind of made one up, and it was kind of silly. But my wife went to the DI, and I guess at the DI, which is like a what's the other one? It's like a Goodwill or Savers, like secondhand shop. Dart guns are in, I guess, extreme abundance at those stores. So she bought like 20 dart guns for like $1 each. And then on Amazon, we bought 200 darts for like $10. And then we have been saving our Amazon boxes for like the last few months as well, from like Christmas and a few other things. So we had a ton of boxes, Nerf guns, and what are they called? Darts. We taped all the boxes up, and so the kids like played Fortnite in the backyard with these Nerf guns, which is kind of fun. They like built forts with the cardboard boxes, and then we had a cooler out there with chug jugs. It was just blue Gatorades, but we put chug jug sticker like on the cooler and stuff. So they just ran around and made a huge old mess in my backyard, but they were
probably super fun for that.
They were vibing. I think the kids really enjoyed it. So that was kind of fun. Probably my favorite Fortnite related thing I've ever done, probably since. Not my favorite game. It's kind of fun, but it's fun and with like friends. I feel like a little redundant.
Does that mean repetitive?
Repetitive, yeah. I think most of the thrill from Fortnite nowadays just comes with all of the partnerships they get, like because they get everything, which is crazy. And they make some changes, like they had the Attack on Titan stuff in there for a minute, and Spider-Man, so you could swing like him for a minute. And
yeah,
so they change up the gameplay pretty frequently, which is good. But they know what they're doing, making billions of dollars. Anyway, so we did that this week. Another success, and maybe not so much of a success. But, I'm going to call both of these successes, actually. First one, I have 3 PlayStation 5 controllers. 2 of them have not worked for like a year, because they have had stick drift in the sticks, which has really bugged me because I've been able to fix that in the past. You can take the controller apart and replace. There's this little sensor, 2 of them that go on the sides of each analog stick that detect like the amount of movement on the x-axis and the amount of movement on the y-axis. And so together that gives your positioning on the on the analog stick. And those sensors kind of break down or get gunk in them over time. And that usually is what leads to a stick drift, because it's like reading an input that doesn't exist or it's stuck too far. But the last time I tried it didn't work. And so I was a little grumpy about it and didn't try. But I opened those 2 controllers, replaced those accelerometers or whatever they're called. I think I had to replace 4 of them, and I bought like a pack of 20 on Amazon for like $20. And then you can also get like a little kit with a screwdriver that makes it easy to take the controllers apart. Actually pretty simple to take apart. Got them both working. Fixed them both.
They're just working normal.
Working normal, which is good. So I'm very pumped about that, because I was thinking like, man, I'm going to have to buy some new controllers if I want to play any games with anybody, or my 2 sons who like playing games with me. But it's kind of pumped to be able to fix that. Feels good to fix something with your own hands and not have to spend money on a brand new thing. Even though I do like getting a new controller. It's a fun feeling. Yeah,
fun fact, I have had the same controller.
Yeah, I don't understand this.
That came with the PS5, and I pre-ordered a PS5.
You did? So you've had it for 4.5 years.
The same controller.
Same controller.
Has 0 stick drift.
And I've had 3 controllers, and one of them is in the same scenario. It's never had a problem. But then the other 2 have. So I've, what's that, 33% success rate? You're at 100% though, so.
Somehow, yeah. I don't want to have to replace it in the future. They're expensive.
They really are. If it starts drifting though, just let me know. I've got some more of those accelerometers and I could fix it. Maybe. I might be putting too much confidence in my abilities, but it does feel good. So there are lots of YouTube videos out there if you need to fix a controller that has stick drift. You can actually do it with Switch Joy-Cons as well. I've done that before. A little bit trickier because they're smaller, so all the components are like jammed in there a little tighter. But that worked too, so that was good. The other halfway success, man, I don't know. The American economy is built upon this idea of we shouldn't allow monopolies because they're bad for consumers. Generally, competition is good. But we have monopolies, like quasi monopolies, like everywhere. The one I hate is internet service across America. Basically, these companies like Xfinity and CenturyLink and whoever else has internet service across the country, they like make contracts with each other like, hey, we got this region. As long as you don't come in this region, we won't come in your region. And I'm like, that pretty much seems like a monopoly to me. I literally only have one option to get, well, I have two options to get internet in my area. Xfinity, and they offer good, fast internet. We'll talk about them in a minute. The other option is CenturyLink, and I can get up to 3 megabits per second with CenturyLink if I were to change to them. Which, for doing anything related to a podcast or anything, would not work. I don't even think you could watch a movie in like higher than 480p on that. It would be brutal.
No, they would say though, like, your speed is fast. You could stream to multiple things at once.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, no way.
No way.
Yeah, like we have Google Fiber in Utah and other fiber companies, but unfortunately none of them have networks where I live. And I don't even live, I live right next to the freeway. Like, I don't know. It's dumb. So I don't really have any options besides Xfinity. But they have that annoying business model where they give you a deal up front to buy your business, basically, and then just slowly jack your price up over time. Like, okay, after your 12-month contract is up, then your promo price is done, and you go back to normal price, and then every year you'll have an increase, and you can like fight with customer service, and they're not very helpful or whatever. So my year promo was up, where I had like the fastest speed I've ever had. I think it was 1.5 gigs per second or something. And their unlimited data plan with their X-Fi Complete package, and for like $75 a month. And I was like, okay, this is pretty dang good. But as soon as these 12 months are up, it's not going to be. So I got on the phone with their support and was just talking to them about options, and I really didn't have any. So I cut the unlimited, sent back their router, and now I'm using my own hardware again, and cut my speed basically in third. I went back to 600 megabits per second. And doing that, I can get my price to $60 a month, but it was going to go to 125 a month. So it's just hard. I hate that business model. I feel like you should reward your customers for a loyalty for staying around, but it just makes me want to bounce. Like, okay, then I will bounce to a different company, and then I'll come back in 2 years because you'll have a promo. But they try to lock you from being able to do that by having these dumb monopoly deals with other companies. So I hate freaking internet service. It's dumb. But
never works as advertised.
Yeah, and that too. So we'll see if the podcast works as it's supposed to with internet that's not as fast. I think it's plenty fast for what we're going to do, basically. But who knows? I don't know. So save some money. Sending less money to Xfinity does make me happy. But I don't know. Other than those three things with the controllers, the Fortnite party, and the Xfinity issues, that's probably been my week.
I'm grateful for goated grocery shoppers today. I had to try to do some grocery shopping as I'm watching my siblings for a week.
Yeah.
And you get into the store and you have never felt so dumb.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, I don't know how to shop deals. I don't know what I should be looking for in the first place. Do we need bananas? I don't know. It's like, grab bananas, some bread, probably need some milk at some point.
Yeah.
And is everything just else just like frozen that we can microwave? Like, very grateful for my mom today. Shout out to moms.
Yep. Shout out to moms.
Because she knows what she's doing. She knows what we need, and I did not.
Yeah.
And so
grocery shopping it's hard.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Not a massive fan of that.
Mm-hmm. And that's something you get way better at the more you do. I only do it occasionally, like when I'm able to, and I am better at it than I used to be. But man, sometimes I'm like, this item I'm looking for should definitely be right here, and then it's just like in another aisle for some reason, like in the baking aisle, and I'm like, why is it not I don't know, on the bread aisle like it should be or whatever. Very frustrating. And the problem is I'm the kind of prideful person that's like, I'm going to find this thing, frick, and I am not going to ask a worker. I've kind of changed a little bit. I will ask them now, but
I'll ask them too, but it is kind of like a little side quest to like try to find it yourself. It's a little bit exciting.
It kind of is. They have some fun things in the grocery store. Like, ooh, new kind of cereal? Ooh, what's this? And when they have like a deal on soda, great day. What else is fun about the grocery store? Are you a fan of the self-checkout?
Yeah. If it works. But the problem is it's like you scan something instantly, she's like, please place item in the bagging area.
Right.
And you do, and then she's like, please place item.
Take the item off, you put 2 items on or something.
Oh yeah.
And the person has to come over and you feel like you're mentally challenged because you couldn't figure out the self-checkout.
Yeah, when it works though, it's super convenient. It probably helps the flow of traffic in stores so much.
Yeah, I would think so. I went to the UPS store the other day, and our UPS store used to be so stinking busy because everybody returns their Amazon packages there, basically. And so there'd be long lines, and now they have like a self-return kiosk. You just go and scan the code from your Amazon return, and it'll print a sticker for you, and then you put it in like a little plastic bag and put the sticker over it so you can do it yourself. Very cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. So they do help the flow for sure. But then you have like the one person that's there with like 2 full carts scanning things slower than you've ever seen possible. And I'm just like, man, read the room. They have people that will scan all this stuff for you. That's what they're there for. People like you that have 2 carts worth of stuff. So I don't know. I wish they would put like a restriction on it. Like, you have over 20 items. Like, let us do it. We're fast.
Makes sense.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too worried about efficiency, though.
Efficiency's good. I'm really grateful for the advances in all the areas of life. Everything is much simpler and more complex than it was in the 90s. They've really helped out in a lot of areas. Walked into McDonald's, didn't even see a worker.
Oh, yeah, they have those big kiosks now.
Oh, yeah.
I just order on my phone. I don't even use a kiosk. And you can, from your phone, like, place your order and then type in the table number you're sitting at, and they'll bring it right to your table.
Whoa.
Which is kind of cool.
We all sneezing today.
Yeah.
Well, Super Movie Brothers. I went and saw Minecraft.
The big movie.
In a big theater room too.
Like XD?
Oh yeah, big screen, nice. Loud, a lot of people in there. It's going around that there are specific parts of the Minecraft movie that you should lose all control and throw everything you own at that moment. So
did that happen while you were there? Or
no, but there was a lot of cheering.
A lot of cheering, yeah, that's what my wife said.
Yeah. Something in Minecraft called a chicken jockey. It's a baby Frankenstein rides a chicken, and for some reason,
that's the moment.
That's the hype. That's the most hyped up thing anyone's ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, my kids went to that with my wife for my son's birthday, but I wasn't able to go because of work. I kind of miss the Minecraft train. I'm a little too old for it. And the gameplay like isn't that exciting to me. I've played it with my kids a little bit. But man, every child everywhere loves that movie. Or that game, excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
And the movie seems pretty fun. My kids were raving about it. That Lava Chicken song is kind of catchy. And Jack Black, just the perfect guy for that.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
I feel like they looked at the Mario movie and they're like, okay, Jack Black plus short, quick little catchy Peaches song equals success. So we'll do Minecraft plus a few short little catchy Jack Black songs equals success.
I was surprised when I heard music. I was like, is this a musical?
Right.
But there really was just a couple moments of very short singing.
Yeah. Like really short, like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love Jack Black. I think he's amazing. I especially like the era around School of Rock. I think that's like prime Jack Black. School of Rock and Nacho Libre. But yeah, he's having quite a resurgence lately. Jumanji and then Mario in the Minecraft movie. He was in King Kong, but that was quite a while ago. So I don't know. He's just good for him. I don't know. I like his vibe for some reason. Just crazy. Other than that, I watched a couple things. Have you watched any other movies, Devin?
Yeah, you can go first though.
Okay. I watched 2 movies with my wife this week. We watched Juror Number 2. I think it was on Max, maybe. Just a movie. And it's basically about this guy. He was driving home one night from the bar. He didn't drink at the bar, so he's like sober. That's a part of the story. He's been like a recovering alcoholic, but he did not drink that night. That's an important note. So he's driving legally, and it's super dark. I think maybe even raining. I can't remember. And he hits something, like a big crash. So he stops his car. He's on like this bridge that goes past, like towards his house. And there's nothing. He doesn't see anything in the front of his car. The front of his car is a little beat up, and that like one of the lights is kind of busted. But there's not like tons of blood or anything on the ground. And I think he walked around the entire car, and then he like looks around on the road, and he looks over the side of the bridge and can't see anything. And then he looks up and sees a sign that says deer crossing. Right. And my wife and I were talking about this before I explain the rest of the movie. What's like your required amount of searching at that moment? It's dark. You see the sign. There's no signs of lots of blood. There's no signs of anything. How much do you have to dig? Do you have to call the police at that moment? If you think it's an animal, you don't have to report hitting an animal.
I feel like in most scenarios, you're not on a bridge, so you could probably see what you hit.
Right.
So you wouldn't have to do that much searching. But if I was on a bridge, I'd be like...
Do you think you'd walk down the bottom of the bridge? You didn't have a flashlight?
Not if it was just like some area that was a normal animal crossing area.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about that too. Like, what are you supposed to do? Anyways, so that happens. He tells his wife about it when he gets home, and they get like the car fixed because they think they hit a deer. A year-ish later, he gets called into jury duty, and he gets selected to be on the jury of this trial. This is the other part I don't fully understand about the show. Well, I'll talk about that in a minute. And it's for a murder where this guy supposedly killed his girlfriend and threw her body over a bridge. Same bridge, same exact night. Same spot and everything. Guy swears he didn't do it, and so this other guy's on the jury. He doesn't realize that until that very moment, according to the movie. That's the other part of the movie I didn't quite understand. I feel like if a girl had gone missing and died in your area, it didn't look like a huge city. It's like, not like way small town, but like kind of suburban. I feel like you would know about that. Like, oh, there's a missing girl and I happen to be on the bridge. Okay, now's the time I call the police and like say, hey, I hit something. Thought it was a deer. But like they skip over that and claim his ignorance and that he did not know about this case until the moment he's selected for jury duty. So that's like a suspend your disbelief a little bit. And so it's all about that. And should he tell them? And are they going to find out? And is that really what happened? Did he hit the girl? And if he did, should he help find the dude not guilty? But if he does that, he might be pushing them towards like, okay, well then what did happen? If it's a hit and run, then maybe we'll look into that more closely, and that might point them more towards him. It's a pretty good show. It's not amazing. I'd give it like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. It was fun. I like that kind of like thrilling, like thriller kind of movie. Has some big actors in it, like Toni Collette, I think was the district attorney. She's the Hereditary mom.
Oh, right, yeah.
And he's the main actor is pretty big right now. He was in like actually maybe that's not him. Is he the husband from Companion?
No, but that guy's big in horror right now.
You're right, the other guy. You're right. They look very similar, but it's not.
Both of them are popping off in movies right now.
Yeah, they kind of are. It's pretty good. If you have Max, I would recommend watching it. Also like refreshing to like watch a movie that's PG-13 and not like abhorrently like violent and cussy. That was kind of nice. But So that's pretty good. Liked that. And then Lacey and I started a TV series that we haven't watched. And it's actually made by a company here in Utah. I don't know if they film it here, but the company Angel Studios is a Utah company. I actually applied to work there and interviewed with them a couple times.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I could have gotten it, but I like the job I got. Anyways, we're a Christian here on the show, and so anybody that is as well, you've probably heard of the show. It's called The Chosen, and it kind of follows the life of Jesus. And we've only watched 3 episodes so far, but very surprised at like how well done it is. And as someone that's read like the Bible a lot and go to church and you hear these stories a lot, sometimes it's hard to like, you hear these details, but it's hard to like picture the people behind them because it happened so long ago and stuff. It's very cool, very good retelling. Really enjoyed that so far as well. Again, we're only a few episodes in, but I think it's very popular. I think so. I think it's Angel Studios' biggest thing they've ever done, and I think it has 4 seasons out, which is kind of crazy. So excited to finish that. That's it for me though. So hop back to you, movie brother.
Okay, I've been keeping this one in the satchel.
Oh, I'm excited about this.
I mean, it's not that cool, and I don't think you're really going to be that hyped about it because I don't think you're the target audience. But he's so hyped.
Yeah.
Our brother and I have been watching all of the Marvel movies.
Oh, okay. Fun.
In story order.
Because they have them in that order on Disney Plus, right?
Yes, but it kicked us out of Disney Plus today, so
I
don't know if you own that or...
I do.
I don't know. I'll have to get back in there, but man, if you've seen most of the films and you go back and actually watch them in order, stuff be making a lot more sense. You understand each Infinity Stone and like...
I bet, yeah.
How this person came to be and why they're in this location in this film, yada, yada. What a cool way to watch that. I have been so hyped through every film. Okay. Some are better than others.
Yeah.
And they go in the weirdest order. Like, doesn't even make sense. Well, it does, but it just shocks you. Like, I don't know how to explain what I'm saying. Like, there's a Captain America to start it, the first Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
And then his next movie's not for like 9 more movies. And maybe there was an Avengers movie that was like number 6 or 7.
So this is like chronological order, like order that the story actually happened.
Is that the word, chronological?
Probably.
Yes. And what a cool way to watch it.
Yeah.
It's been super fun. I think those movies are very encouraging and like energetic and give me goosebumps. And
yeah. I like them as well. I'm definitely hit or miss on which of the movies I like. But if I was going to watch them, I think that would be a fun way to do it.
You should. If you ever, I don't think as a dad and whatever else you're doing in life, you'll ever have this amount of time, but wow.
My kids are getting closer to the age where they'll probably want to start watching those, and so maybe I'll do that with them in the coming years. Because that would be cool. I do like commend them for the level of like detail and commitment that Disney did with the first Marvel phase. You know, everything through Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Very well thought out, and like so many movies, but they all seemed like working to build up to this like cool crescendo.
They do, and as you watch them in chronological order, you wouldn't believe the amount of references to other movies, and I don't know if it's called a cameo, but a quick appearance of someone who shouldn't be in this specific movie, but is just to confirm that story and really lock it in.
Yeah.
It's so cool. We're only like 8 or 9 in out of like 33.
33, wow.
There's a bunch, but...
Hey, 8 or 9, that's a lot of movies.
But I have 2 favorites.
Of the 8 or 9?
I have 2 favorites of Marvel superheroes. I think based on their backstory, the hardships in their life, and just who they've become, I think I have to pick Captain America.
He's a good guy.
And Black Widow.
Okay.
She had a tough childhood with her sister and got basically kidnapped as a kid. And whoa.
Does she only have one movie?
Just one standalone movie, yes.
I've never seen that one.
Pretty good. Pretty fun.
And I like Captain America as well. I feel like that first movie, they were still like trying to figure out like some things and like their CGI wasn't perfect. I like Red Skull.
Hmm.
He's played by Hugo Weaving, I think, Elrond. And weak Captain America before he, like, little baby Chris Evans.
Oh, so tall, so small. I mean,
so funny looking. So yeah, those are good ones. My favorite are Spider-Man and Guardians for sure, but
which is understandable. They've put a lot of effort into the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and so much effort and content into Spider-Man. Not only in live action, but the best animated films.
Yeah, very good.
And there's a TV series even.
Yeah. That's fun though. That's a cool little project. I'm excited to hear how the next 8 or 9 movies go. Out of the first 8 or 9, what one is your favorite there? Is it the Captain America movies?
We were shocked. Captain America Winter Soldier.
I have not seen that one, but I've heard it's great.
Is pretty dang good. Yeah, very fun, pretty touching. Better CGI in that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the order of them. It goes like Captain America, Captain Marvel. And then my brain is gone from there. We watched one or two Iron Man in there.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're actually through all the Iron Mans. They happen early.
All 3. Wow.
Yes.
But I didn't love the third Iron Man, but I liked the first. I really liked the first one. I think number 2 is okay. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
That's been a good time though. It's nice to actually like invest in the show. It's hard because we judge things based on kind of a surface level sometimes. It's like, I've seen that film, didn't impress me that much. But you go back in and you actually see what they were going for and like all the work that went into it. Yeah. It
makes you appreciate it more.
Oh man, yeah. So good. I wish superheroes were real so badly.
They are cool. Like superpowers kind of accentuate the best of people, or as the villains, like the worst of people. That's a cool idea. That's fun. Love that. Well, Devin, the last thing I wanted to note here in Super Movie Brothers is the second season of The Last of Us on HBO comes out on Sunday. And they don't do a all-in-one drop on HBO. They do weekly episodes.
Sad.
So, yeah, a little bit sad. But I thought what might be kind of fun is maybe we cover like each episode. I don't know for how long. I don't know that it's like a super good use of time if we were to spend like an hour on each one, but maybe we do like 10 or 15 minutes about like our thoughts on the latest episode on.
Yeah, I'll make sure to pay extra attention so I have some thoughts.
Yeah, we'll either put it here in Super Movie Brothers or we'll put it at the end of the episode. I haven't decided yet, but I think that would be a fun little recurring thing to do for the next couple of months at least. And we could even clip those out and put them on YouTube or whatever. I think that would be cool. So we'll probably do that. Just a little heads up there. Super Movie Brothers blazes forward, you know?
Always.
What do they call that? Trailblazing. All kinds of stuff. Cool. Well, let's hop into the show. This is the Super Game Brothers podcast, a weekly podcast, like I mentioned already, about board games and video games, the ones we like and are playing. And yeah, we do this every single week. And we have whoops, I'm sharing the wrong screen here. We have a Patreon at patreon.com/supergamebrothers. That helps us keep the lights on. It's where you can get our content a little bit early. You can write into the show. And what other perks do you get there? You can get your name in the credits if you would like. Just a great way that you can kind of interface with us a little bit more and get some extra and early content. So please check that out, patreon.com/supergamebrothers. And we also have a running giveaway that we're doing on our website, supergamebrothers.com. And it's running for a couple more months. And it's a board game bundle or a gaming gift card. So cool stuff. Please check those out. You can follow the Patreon totally for free. And the giveaway is also free to join. So we'll jump into the show now, kind of with that said. And we always start, Devin, with the new games to subscription services. There's a few different segments we'll look at this week. And the first one, as usual, is Board Game Arena, where you can play board games online. Handles all of the rules for you. And they have 2 games and a little update this week. First game is called Symbios. Has a cute little pink rainforest frog. And it's a pretty simple game where you're placing cards to your left or your right, and kind of depending on if you put it to your left or your right, the player on your left or your right will like help determine how well you score and what looks like shapes you score. Or you can put a card in the center and then you're determining that. Seems pretty cool. I like games that like have you interface with the people surrounding you. Sometimes it's not always my favorite mechanism, but if it's a short game that does that in a unique way, that's pretty cool. So Symbiosis, check that one out. And then the other game real quick before I come back to this update is Quartermaster General East Front, which looks like a skirmish kind of war game, which is not a genre that I know very well or have even really played much of. I've played a few like simpler ones, but some people get really into these like very long and complex like skirmish like recreations of famous battles from history and stuff. So check that one out if you're so inclined. The third thing really quick, the new season of Arena on Board Game Arena, which is their like competitive league, starts on April 8th, which was actually 2 days ago. So if you are playing competitive on Board Game Arena, then I think all like the scores for each game reset. It's kind of like Rocket League has seasons, Fortnite has seasons, kind of like a restart in that way. So I think that is all of the updates on the Board Game Arena front. All right, next up, the new games to PlayStation Plus. This is a game catalog which is available for Extra and Premium, the top 2 subscriptions for PlayStation Plus. Some good ones this month, but a smaller list, to be honest. The big one for sure is the very, very popular and very well-selling Hogwarts Legacy. I think the game has sold over 25 million copies, so I think they'd probably think, well, we've sold all the copies we can sell. Basically, we'll take some extra money from Sony and put it on PlayStation Plus. Devin, I know you played Hogwarts Legacy pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, we 100%ed the game.
Right. And I think the only thing you have to do left to get the platinum is like restart it 3 more times with each house. Is that right?
Yeah, you basically
have to play like the first 3 hours of the game, don't you?
I think it might be like 30 minutes to an hour.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
It's still a little like repetitive to do.
Yeah, I was like, is it worth it?
That's a dumb trophy, in my opinion.
It is.
But anyways, play that one if you haven't. This is the one I'm most excited about.
Same.
This is one of only a few games that PlayStation has put on their service that is a day one launch. The other ones they had were Animal Well last year, which was a great pick. And I'm trying to think of others. I think they did Tachia, and I think they did have one other successful one that I'm blanking on, but this is their next one. It's called Blueprints, and surprisingly, it is like kind of blown up. It's reviewing very well. I think it has a 90 something on Metacritic, which is crazy. And it's like a puzzle roguelike game where you're doing these runs and you're trying to find the mysterious 46th room in this manor where the rooms are all shifting around, which sounds like very odd and strange, but has a huge viewership on Twitch right now. I imagine a lot of people are going to be playing it because I think it is on Game Pass as well as PlayStation Plus. So I hope that the developers of this game see some success too, and it sells some actual copies outside of the subscription so that they make some good money, because it seems like it's getting some vibes. All right, next up, this one is also a day one launch. This is part 2 of another day one launch that PlayStation did a couple of months ago for Lost Records Bloom and Rage Tape 2, which is a game from, I think, Don't Nod. Yeah, Don't Nod's latest narrative adventure. People that made Life is Strange, and it's like a 2-part, I believe, kind of story.
I've seen some of the first part.
With these 2 teenagers. Did it look like Life is Strange?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got too. So there's that one. Next up, perfect timing since the Masters just started today, and I definitely didn't watch every second I could while I was working.
Yeah, no way.
I had Devin's stream going on Twitch, Player 4. Check that out. Then I had the Masters going and then work on my other monitor. So it was like, I was all over the place. But this is PGA Tour, EA Sports, PGA Tour, excuse me. Road to the Masters. That's a fun golf game. I've had it for like a year, and I play it every once in a while. It's fun. Golf is probably my favorite sport to play in a video game. Very picky with sports games. That's a good one, though. Devin, do you play a lot of Battlefield historically at all?
No, I had a phase.
Okay. This one is Battlefield 1, and I think this one has like 5 different stories from different people that were in World War I, and then it also has a multiplayer mode as well with up to 64 players. It reviewed really well, at least compared to the more modern ones, so I might check that one out, to be honest. Played Up on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Combines chaotic kitchen and restaurant management with strategic planning. I imagine that's probably kind of like Overcooked. I haven't seen any gameplay of it. I don't think that's a great a cover page, to be honest.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I've seen some Played Up gameplay. Really weird. It looked like the entire screen was filled up with meals.
Oh, okay.
Like I didn't even see a character. But maybe I'm...
Interesting.
Maybe I dreamt that. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. And that's all of the extra games. So I think there's only 7. Was that 6? 6. But then there are 2 more if you have premium. These are the classics for the month. And the 2 are Alone in the Dark 2, which is a sequel to Alone in the Dark. I think this came out on either the PlayStation 1 or the PlayStation 2. And then War of the Monsters, which came out in 2003. It looks stunning in high definition.
Wow.
And features full trophy support, including an all-important platinum. So there you go. So those are the 8 games this month coming to the game catalog. Blueprints, for me, is the one to watch.
Looks like we've got 2 or 3 for Epic Games.
Yeah, for some reason, they just decided to do more than one this week. I don't know why. This game is called Arcadegeddon, and I think I actually played this one with our cousin like a couple years ago, and it was an okay, like, kind of fun time. You're like shooting stuff in this weird virtual world. It's kind of fun. I believe the game has now gone free to play, and in this bundle you get 5,000 ARC coins, so some currency. If you have friends to play it with, might be an okay time. It's kind of silly, kind of fun. This next one is the big one for me this week. I do like a good beat 'em up, and this one has reviewed really well, but I haven't played it yet. It's called River City Girls, and it's basically a beat 'em up where in a lot of beat 'em ups, you're like the guys trying to find your girlfriends that have been kidnapped, and this one flips it. You're like playing as the girls, I think, trying to save your boyfriends who have been kidnapped, which is a fun kind of twist.
Yeah, it is. Cool.
So, and I love the pixel art. It's supposed to be really good. So if you like
co-op,
oh yeah,
oh yeah,
if you like a good beat 'em up, like the Ninja Turtles one that came out a couple years ago, this one has been out a little bit longer, I think, but it's supposed to be great. So add that one to your library. And then last up, I don't know if this one is like a full game or just like a new mode, but they have Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, Dungeons and Dragons, which doesn't look like a David game, but if you have played Idle Champions, I guess, and want to keep playing that, which looks like there is a genre for this, and I think it's called like an idle game, where basically you I don't even know, you upgrade your characters and then just kind of watch as they fight these big bosses, and you might reposition them and stuff. It looks very much like a game that would be on a phone, and not for me, but it's probably good for the people that like it, and you get some currency, $100 of value.
Whoa.
Yeah, crazy.
That is crazy. Well, you've been playing a Sonic game.
I did. Yeah, I've been playing a few things. You ever had a period where you're like, I want to play something, but you can't decide what?
All the time.
Every day, yeah. I'm in that phase right now where I'm like, I want to play something really good, but I don't know what. So I played a bunch of things for a short amount of time this week. I started by trying Sonic Frontiers, which I think is the latest like 3D Sonic game. And I mostly like wanted to show it to my kids, and they are really into Sonic right now because of the movies. I think somebody that liked Sonic would like it. It's kind of fun. You're like can zoom around this pretty big like world, and there are things to fight and stuff. I just find Sonic, like the gameplay in Sonic games, to be like so much of a letdown compared to like I like Sonic as a character. I like Tails. I like Knuckles. I think the music in Sonic games is generally great. He's just too fast to like control in any meaningful way, in my opinion. But I don't know. It's kind of okay. It has like these open world segments, and then you can even tell this games played trailer I'm watching or video I'm watching, which is not me playing. The person's kind of struggled to hit their jumps a few times, and
looks like the depth of field is a little odd.
Yeah, a little weird, and it has a bunch of times where it'll like target something, and you can just push a button to zip over to it. I think because they know like he's a little tricky to control, especially at these high speeds. So like we'll give him like an auto aim.
We need lock on.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think I'll play it anymore, but it was on PlayStation Plus like a month or two ago. Tried it out for a minute. So that is Sonic Frontiers. If you like
Sonic. This next one's a big trial for you.
Yeah, this is the one I've probably played the least. But there's a 2-hour trial on PlayStation Plus Premium for Baldur's Gate 3. I've been very intrigued by this game. I think it won Game of the Year last year from like a bajillion places. It's supposed to be great. It's like a take on Dungeons and Dragons, which is a game I've wanted to try, but haven't ever really gotten into. So I wanted to just kind of try it out. This isn't the character I made, but you like can make your own character. Pretty in-depth character builder as well. You can like choose your race and subclass, and then their specialty and like their heritage and all these things, and then also choose what they look like. I played as a high half-elf.
Of course.
Yeah. But they have like dwarves and elves and half-elves and orcs. Did I say orc already? And there's this one dude that's just, his head's a dragon. And like a dragon head. Yeah.
Dragon head.
He has a name. I don't remember. And so I'm not sure. I got through probably 40 minutes. Like the opening cutscene's very beautifully like made and very pretty game. The bad guy seems to be this like Cthulhu-like character, and you can see all the references like from Stranger Things, where like this is a mind flayer, and like this is a which were things as someone that hasn't played Dungeons and Dragons that like I know as a character, but I don't have the touch point that some people do. But then when you get control of your character, you're like moving around, interacting with things, and then there's almost always like a they call them a check in Dungeons and Dragons. So it's like a dialogue check or an attack strength check or perception check. And so it's like you look into this bowl of goo right here. Let's do an investigation check to see if you find something. Then you roll a die, and if your character is smart, like you might have a lower threshold because your character is generally smart. And if you roll a certain amount, then you have a success, and you do find something. And so everything is a die roll, basically. Very much in vein of the tabletop game. But because of that, it feels like, I don't know, it feels very much like I'm not in like total control. It's always like, well, I hope this will happen, but it might not. And I hope this will happen, but it probably not because my percentages is worse for this check. So it's very interesting in that way, where most of the time when I'm playing a video game, I want the gameplay to be really tight. And when I die or lose, I know what I did wrong and it's my fault. As opposed to just, oh, if I get this die roll, I'm going to beat this boss. And if I don't, I'm not. I know there's more nuance to the game than that I just said, but sometimes that's kind of how that comes across to me. So still, I have like an hour left in my 2-hour trial. I think it's really cool in premise. I'd probably love like the story. I just don't know if I would love how it plays, but maybe I would come around to it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks so interesting. I'm unsure as well.
Yeah. So tried that trial. Next up, I bought a few games because there's a sale going on the PlayStation Store. And one of them I've wanted to play for a while is this one called Planet of Lana. And it's a game that reminds me a lot of like Inside and Limbo. It's like 2D, but it's like a 3D world, kind of. You can see stuff in the foreground and the background. You do a lot of jumping, puzzle solving. You have this sister, and you live with her in this like little village. And then this isn't really a spoiler. In like the first 10 minutes, um, you're following her to visit your parents' graves, and then you keep walking a little bit further, and these things start falling from the sky, and they end up being like alien, like robot ships. Whoops, I didn't mean to minimize that. And kind of in War of the Worlds style, they're like abducting all the people and putting them in these like cage pods. And so your sister is kidnapped by these aliens, and so you're basically on a quest to try and save her, it seems. Very cool vibes here during this opening sequence when like it actually happens. I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit. You're just like running, and then I don't have any audio playing, but the audio cues here are like cool, and you're like watching all these things come down from the sky. You're like, what's going on? And then how they like jump into the foreground and like the robots like pop around. I really like the way that like the robots look. They're pretty cool. So I've played probably an hour of this game, and I like it so far. If you like games like Inside, like I mentioned, or Limbo, I think you would enjoy it. You have a cute little pet. It's kind of like a monkey dog thing that you eventually find, and it becomes your friend. So we'll see if it continues to hold my attention, but it's pretty cool, at least at the beginning. So I like it. Definitely has that kind of David indie game vibe.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And if you want even more of a David indie game vibe, I bought this game for like $4 to play with my sons, and it's called Micro Mages, and it's a cooperative or solo or co-op game. You're basically just trying to defeat these monsters and get to the top of like each tower, and then at the end of like every fourth level there's a boss. And it's amazing. Just as amazing is probably too strong. It's fun to play with friends. It's pretty simple. The bosses are kind of cute. I like the retro pixel art. It looks like Castlevania in a way, but like a little more friendly. It's really fun. So it was
never heard of that.
$4. I hadn't either. And so yeah, I would recommend that one, especially if you have kids that you want to like. This is probably David being like old man yells at cloud, but I try to teach my kids about like gaming history a little bit. Like we'll play like some older Donkey Kong and older Mario games or stuff like that. And, yeah, I think it kind of fits that vibe. So that's all I've been playing. Just hopping around a little bit. I think I'll finish Planet of Lana. Some of the other ones that I just went over, I don't know that I'll play much more.
Well, I played, due to the new season coming out of The Last of Us, we absolutely blasted through the Last of Us game, remastered for PS5. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I noticed that much of a difference from the PS4 version, but I would say it seemed pretty. Yeah. I don't know if it's prettier. It seemed that way. Felt really good. The game's amazing. The story's amazing. The controls are actually pretty dang amazing. The way you control your character, they give you a lot to work with in a room. Kind of different ways to beat areas. You can sneak or just go absolute baboon insane and just go crazy with your weapons. Mm-hmm. Fantastic story. Fantastic bond between the main characters. Cool upgrading system, which I think he's doing right here. Maybe not. But there's almost nothing wrong with this game. It's intentionally supposed to be hard.
Yeah.
It's spooky. There's love. There's good music. It touches your soul. It's amazing. It really, really is. The other game we've been playing is the sequel to this.
Mm-hmm.
So we played a lot of both games. They're both fantastic, slightly different in a way.
Yeah.
The second one has definitely tidied things up, in my opinion.
Yeah, the gameplay wise, for sure.
Yeah, just inventory is easier to access, and I was very grateful for that.
You have like more flexibility too with like combat. You can go prone and like
prone jumping,
trucks and like jump. Yeah,
you can like craft ammo,
right?
All sorts of things like that. It was a little risky to play today, having people all over the internet world and maybe coming across a spoiler they didn't want to see, but I think most people know what happens.
I think anyone on Twitch probably does.
Happens in these games. Nothing bad to say about them. They're beautiful. I just wanted to take pictures the whole time. We did the second one on New Game Plus and started messing with game modifiers. We changed their voices to helium and hexon.
Yeah, that's funny.
So super high voices, then super low, but it kind of messes with all of the audio, so you just want to take it off.
Yeah.
It's just like their render adjustments you can do in game are extremely extreme.
Yeah.
Like, you can make it so the whole world looks like fire, or black and white. It's like, you almost needed just slight adjustments to the image, maybe not so intense, because there were so many, but we didn't want to change. I don't know. There's so much to touch on with these games. I don't even really know what else to say about them.
Yeah, I agree. They're basically like top of the line, pristine in basically every way you could imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's like probably like, in my opinion, like the best and my favorite story in like all of video games. But you have to be ready for something like that's brutal and is ready to go to places that like you're not wanting it to. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't hold back in any way. It's brutal like the whole way through. And I'm not always ready for a game that brutal, but when you're in the mood for it, man, it's there's nothing like it. And their production level and like is just crazy.
Yeah, there's many times where I just want to stand in the sunshine in this game and just show everyone how good it looks.
Mm-hmm.
But super fun. We tried unlimited ammo for a minute with an SMG, and that was a great time.
Oh, I bet.
It's like, I'm unstoppable.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was probably really handy, because ammo scarcity is part of the whole game. You know?
Yeah, it's shocking to me how similar this kind of feels in many different ways as Resident Evil.
Yeah, those post-first playthrough like settings that they let you tweak with are fun.
Yeah, and just the difficulty in aiming. There's a lot of head wobble from the enemies. There's a lot of weapon reticle sway.
Mm-hmm.
It's spooky. The upgrade system, you're always low on everything.
Yep.
Always low on ammo and heals. Man, I love this genre of games. I do. Spook me out and make it difficult.
Yeah, I agree. I do too. I'm excited to try. I haven't bought it yet, but I've been thinking about it. There's a $10 upgrade for the remastered version of Part 2 that comes with that new no return mode that like randomly shuffles in different enemy encounters and then bosses in like a roguelike fashion. So you like have to beat encounter, boss, beat encounter, boss. I think there are 6 bosses if you're able to get through the whole run. And I think that'd be fun. I don't usually play these games as like an expert in the combat. I'm usually scraping by like the skin of my teeth. I think it would be fun to like get good at the combat, because there are pretty often like clips people put on the internet of someone that's just excellent at the game, and somebody that is excellent at the game. It's crazy like how fluid they are moving around and how like cinematic it looks when they remove the HUD and they're like fighting with like nothing going on. You're like, this looks like a movie.
Yeah, that's actually what we did for the first one.
Yeah. Yep, you removed everything but the dot, right?
We tried to remove the reticle, but wow.
Yeah, that would be way hard.
Yeah.
You could put a little piece of tape on your monitor.
I almost did.
Well, that's fun. Those are great games. I'm really excited for the second season of the show to start on Sunday. It'll be interesting to see which parts they cover, how they cover it. The show is reviewed pretty well. Not quite as well as the first season, but yeah, it's also done well. So I'm excited for that.
It's going to be hard to combat that first season.
It really is. The first season is such like a tight, like self-contained story. And since they decided to break the second game up over multiple seasons.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This new season that won't be all of part two's game story is like, I feel like it's gonna leave you like with a cliffhanger.
Oh, it's gonna be so annoying.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wait so long for.
Yeah, they do take a while. I think it's like 3 years since the first season came out. Maybe it's only 2, but I think it's 3. So that'll be interesting to see. All right, Devin, for board games, I had a game night with some friends last week, and this is going to be a little redundant to last week's portion where we talked about games, but we played Edo and Flip 7 with 8 people. So kind of a bigger group than I usually play board games with, but these 2 games are great for that kind of scenario. Edo still just great. If you want to laugh like your head off, man, Edo's amazing. It reminds me of Wavelength, but it's simpler. You don't have to break into teams, and everyone kind of gets to contribute always.
We talked about potential arguments with this game last week. Did you encounter any?
A little bit, to be honest. But the reason was we had 4 married couples that were playing, and somebody gave a clue that was kind of a dig at their spouse. And so for the rest of the game, like, everyone was kind of poking at each other.
I see.
So if you know the people really well, like, that can definitely happen. But yeah, very, very funny little game. So Edo, can't recommend it enough if you like a good party game. And then I won't say any more about Flip 7. It's just it's a also fun kind of blackjack style game. All right, Devin, we played a game just yesterday. We were going to record the podcast yesterday, but it got a little too late because this game took a little longer than I expected it to. But we played Deep Regrets, which just showed up from the Kickstarter campaign a few days ago. And we just played a 2-player game. I'm actually going to stop this video, and we'll just go down to the table since I left it up so that we could talk about it a little bit more today on the podcast. So let me go down to the table, make sure that we've got everything that we need here. Okay. This is an unfortunate fishing game is what it's called. Here's the cover. It's currently number 1 on Board Game Geek as far as like interest and clicks and stuff. Very, very cool. It was designed and illustrated by one guy, Judson Cohen, and you can kind of see the artistic vibe it's going for here in the middle, or on the inside of the cover. That guy reminds me of the landlord
from Bob's
Burgers.
Let's go.
Yep. And then the rest of it's just like Bob's Burgers, creepy fish kind of style. And your goal is to catch fish and, you know, either sell them for money or mount them as your trophy catches. And whoever has the most valuable fish at the end of the game wins. But there are some modifiers to that. You have to keep track of how insane you've gone based on how many regrets you've taken. And if you take more, then the foul fish or creepy things you can find in the ocean, like this human, become more valuable. But regular fish, like this giant squid, become less valuable. And then vice versa if you stay up towards the top of the madness track. So each day of the 6 days, you have to decide if you're going to be at port that day to buy new rods and reels, get supplies, get new dice for your cool little tackle dice that you use to catch fish, or you go out to sea. You can move down to lower depths, see what horrors you find when you try to fish, and then hopefully you have the dice you need to catch that fish. And they don't have too crazy of like reveal effects. You can also eat the fish for bonuses. You're tracking your money. And then at the end of 6 days, whoever has done that the best kind of wins. If you want to see, that was a very, very quick explanation of a game that's a bit more in-depth than that. But we did a full 2-player playthrough. It's up on my YouTube channel, Gaming Top Down. So make sure to check that out if you want to like see a full rules teach and see an entire game played through. We played the short game, so only 5 days instead of 6. I don't think it was much shorter, to be honest. But
yeah.
Devin, what do you think about the game after our play yesterday? I know you initially said you enjoyed it, but after
I did.
24 hours later, feel the same?
I really like that they took so much time with all of the unique cards, the aesthetic, the art is fantastic. Even if you didn't have the best mechanics in this game, it would be fun because it's immersive with all the pictures.
It really is. Everything is like kind of congruent or stays on that same vibe. Like one of my favorite parts is just these cool 4-sided dice that are meant to look like the bobber or kind of like the tackle piece. And you use them to catch the fish. And so even those like thematically fit. It's a 4-sided die, but it's also part of a fishing pole.
One of my favorite things about this game, we talked afterwards about not understanding perfectly yet after a play what is the best strategy.
Yeah.
And barely tapped into the cards. I think the replayability of this game is big.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
And that makes me like it even more.
Yeah, it's not... You can see here, I didn't really move anything from when we finished yesterday. And there's probably 20 or 30 cards up top that we've discarded that we did see during the game. Maybe a few more with these that we have down here. But all of these piles here probably have 9 cards in them each that we haven't even looked at yet. So the amount of variability in just what fish you catch seems to be pretty high. And some of them have like unique bonuses that you can use by eating the fish or by mounting them. This one, for example, is really weird. It gave me this crazy like omen die for the entire game. So some of them have some pretty drastic abilities or things that can combo into other things pretty well. So yeah, I enjoyed it as well. Like you said, there were a couple rules things, hiccups we had where we couldn't quite figure out from the rule book and the text on the card what we should do in a specific scenario. But I don't think any of them were like game breaking. They were just like, we're not completely sure. Those will probably be ironed out with questions asked on Board Game Geek and maybe an updated rule book or something. But I think the last touch I really liked was you don't really know what fish you're going to flip over, but I really like the touch that he did with there are 2 types of fish. We talked about foul and fair, and then there are 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. And you can tell what size of fish you're going to be flipping over based on the shadow on the card. So this one has a bigger shadow, this darker blue area here, and this one, so that'd be a large fish, and this one is very small, just a little one there. So you at least know what size of fish you're going to flip over, and there is a little chart here that shows you kind of the range of how difficult they'll be to catch. So it gives you some information, but still has a little bit of randomness in like what you flip over and how the dice roll, but you have some ways to kind of mitigate some of that. So yeah, I really liked it as well. I do think the art is what pulled me in to get me to back and get the game. And I do think it does some of the heavy lifting where you're just like, this is just fun. We're like looking at creepy things in the ocean. You like flipped over this weird whale that was like split in half, and the weird seal that was like, I don't know, weird things.
Oh yeah.
And those were always fun moments to reveal those. So yeah, I'm interested to see what a second play will discover. Is it too much more of the same? Can you try really hard and like stay up high on the madness track and just go after fair fish? And is that a viable strategy? What does the biggest regrets like module add?
Are there really good rods and reels that we missed out on?
Yeah,
that type of thing.
Was it more common to actually use your lifeboat like in the last round so that you can get back to the port and trophy something up? That does seem like a viable strategy to me if you don't think you're going to lose the regret total.
Should I catch a bunch of small fish and just continuously eat them for their benefit?
Mm-hmm.
For their passive ability.
Yeah,
it's
cool. I liked it. I do hope I can get the playtime down just a little bit next time we play. I think we could.
Yeah,
we were like checking a lot of things, but it says like 30 minutes per player is the normal mode, and the mode we played was 20 minutes per player. But our play was like an hour and a half after the teach and everything. So definitely a bit to go to shave that down to that time point. But Yeah, I liked it so far. It's pretty fun. I know he's launching an expansion for it later this year called Even Deeper Regrets that I think adds more fish, obviously, more cards to the regret deck that go up to 4 instead of 3 is the cap. And I'm trying to remember what else there was. I think it changes up port a little bit, and it had one or two other like things it added. I feel like it added a new board. So I don't know. We'll have to look at that as well. Might be worth it. We'll see if I'm still enjoying the game at the point that Kickstarter launches. But good first impression, I think. Definitely not a bad one. It was like that was fun. But I feel like I don't know that I played it like strategically well, but it was fun to play. So that's Deep Regrets. That one was enjoyable. All right, what's next up? Things we're excited for? Or did you play any surprise board games you got for me?
I did not, no.
Okay, that's all right. So next up, I think we are on what we're excited about then, right? Does that sound right to you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Things we are excited about. I just talked about a couple of games I bought on the sale on PlayStation, and I did buy this one as well that I've heard good things about. I just haven't started it yet. It's called Pepper Grinder, and has awesome pixel art. And I think the shtick is you kind of have this drill that can like drill through the ground, and you use it to do various platforming things and fight bosses and that kind of thing. And I just love how it looks. And it was on sale, and I was like, okay, now's the time. I think it looks awesome.
I like this art as well because it's legible. Is that the right word? It's not so pixeled that
you can't tell what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. It's pixelated to give you like those retro vibes, but it's clean enough that you don't feel lost. So yeah, I hope I like it. It's supposed to be good. And I like a game that has like gameplay that like looks difficult at first, but after you kind of learn it and get into a groove, you're starting to pull off things that you're like, wow, I can't believe I just did that. And like it makes you kind of impressed with yourself. That's always a fun thing. Like I feel like in Returnal that kind of happened, or sometimes in Enter the Gungeon, I was like, wow, I can't believe I pulled that off. Even though at first you're just like dying a bunch. So I hope that that one has a similar vibe there. So Pepper Grinder is one for sure.
We talked about Blueprints. We're both excited for that as well.
Yes.
And we've got 2 board games here. One is a DLC. What do you call that?
Yeah, an expansion.
An expansion for Fractured Sky.
That's right. Yep, I actually just got this one. It is behind me on the shelf. I'll just hold it up really quick. I'm surprised at how small of a box it is, but this is the Rift expansion to Fractured Sky. It basically just adds, instead of just regular Starfall, the Starfall are all different colors. And if you're able to get multiple of the same color, let me see if I can get to where are you? Multiple of the same color, then you score more, I think. It kind of scales. The expansion really is just that. It has some cards, some sleeves for those cards, and then just those metal Starfall and a bag for them. And they're very cool in different colors. I haven't done an unboxing yet for the channel, but I'm going to. I think there's gold, purple, green, orange, and red and blue, maybe. But basically, if you get one Starfall of a color, it's just worth 1 point, just like the regular kind of bluish ones from the base game. If you get 2 Starfall of the same color, that's worth 3 points. So that way they're worth a little bit more than a point apiece. 3 of the same color is also 3 points. So they go back down to being 1 point each. But if you get 4 of the same color, they're worth 7. So it kind of jumps. You kind of 2 and 4 is where you want to be, right? You don't want to be at 3 or 1, which is cool. I kind of like that. It's a little shoot the moon where you're like, ooh, I have 2 of these. I think I can get a third one. It'll be tough for me to get a 4th. Do I risk it to go for the 7 points? 7 is a lot of points in this game, just as a heads up. I think some of our winning scores have been like 6 or 7. So that's like a big amount. So I'm excited to play with that. Fractured Sky, very unique, cool game. Other than that, I did just get another game this one, I'll hold it up as well. In fact, let's go down to the table because that'll be fun. Well, I think you do have it up on here on the screen, huh? We'll show it on the screen just for a second. I got Capital Lux 2 Generations, and here it is on the table. This game's been out of print, and I've been trying to find it for a couple of years and have not been able to, but someone was selling their copy just like 10 miles away from me, so I was like, sold, bought it. Very excited. It's a pretty simple card game, but there's like this middle board called the capital, and if you ever have a higher value of, you can choose to put cards in the capital or in your area, but if at the end of the round the cards in your area of that color are higher than the capital's value in that area, the capital like kills them all or steals them all from you, so you can't ever have more. And so since that's player determined, because the players are putting the cards in the middle, it's like a jockeying match to make sure that, okay, when do I want to put cards in the capital, and when do I want to put them on my board. It's supposed to be pretty simple actually, but have quite a bit of depth. There's lots of different modules you can add in as well, so very excited to try that one out. That's Capital Lux 2 Generations. Really cool artwork from Kwanchai Moria. Just like it. That's probably it for me, Devin, as far as things we're excited for. Anything you're really excited for?
Uno 2.
Uno 2. They actually have one. It's called Dos. It's not very good. I've played it. Yeah, didn't really like it. Uno's an okay time though. What's that bring us to then? Are we at the news already?
We're at the news, Mini-Nuke.
Oh, heck yeah, we are. All right, Devin, there's a few news items I just wanted to get your opinion on before we go into rapid fire. First one, since I know you're such an economist and will have great like insights on the United States foreign policy and trade policy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's been an announcement that the United States is enforcing higher tariffs against China and Vietnam and some other countries. And some of them were announced like right after the Switch 2 news came out. And so actually Nintendo has paused the the pre-orders in the United States and Canada. They said the release date's not being affected. It'll still come out on June 5th. We just are not sure when we're going to allow the pre-orders. Probably because they're waiting to see like what's going to happen with these tariffs. Kind of a crazy time we live in. A lot of companies are struggling to know like what's going to happen because of this. Like the stock market like really tanked like across the board. So very weird times we live in. Hopefully it will kind of land in a good place for our global economy. You know, we're not an economy podcast, so I was kind of joking about you being an economist.
Yeah, I know nothing about this.
Yeah, I don't really either.
I would like to get a Switch too.
Mm-hmm.
It looks cool.
Yeah. The other thing from this article that has actually brought Nintendo a bit of heat, and I just wanted to read this quote and ask you what you think of it. So do you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
I got you.
Okay.
We recognize there are some people that may not be able to afford the Switch 2's price point. That's why we wanted to make the other Switch platforms available, so people still have an opportunity to come into our gaming universe, be a part of these characters in these worlds, and see value, if you will, in whatever rung of the platform they come in. Did I read the wrong quote?
Oh, that was the second half of it. Yeah. The first half is as we look at Nintendo Switch 2 and think about the future sets that I talked about, we believe that the pricing is appropriate for the value of the machine and the gameplay experience overall. And then he continued, we recognize that there are some people that may not be able to afford the Switch 2's price point. That's why we wanted to make the other Switch platforms available. That's the main portion. A lot of pushback online from this statement of people saying basically, well, Nintendo's being greedy. They don't want to like make the Switch a price that people can afford, the Switch 2 a price that people can afford, and they're just saying, well, if you're poor, go get the Switch 1. which isn't exactly what he said, but that's kind of like how people are reading it. I think the reason is in 2008, I think it was. It might have been a year earlier than that. I don't remember. Sony announced the PlayStation 3 was going to cost $600, and it was like a big, like PR, like a bad thing for them, because that's very expensive, especially in $2007. And I think a quote that they gave was that, yeah, if people are struggling to afford it, they'll go get a second job or something. And so I think that this quote just kind of gives those same kind of vibes of like, well, we're freaking Nintendo. And if you can't afford our Switch 2 like a poor person, then go buy a Switch 1. So I don't really think it's much of anything. I think the price point of the Switch 2, it is a little bit more than I thought it would be, but I don't think it's ridiculous. Like a PlayStation 5 Pro, $700. It's obviously much more capable than a Switch 2. I don't think the price point of the Switch 2 itself is like the main issue I have. I think the pricing of their games is a little weird, but
if it's really worth the price, I think maybe it should be priced that. Most things in life, if they're higher quality, are worth it. Or I mean, you've got restaurants that you can pay $300 for one meal at,
right,
depending on the quality. And maybe if you don't go to that restaurant, you can use that $300 to buy a Switch.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's unfortunate that this guy said this. He is Nintendo of America's president. And it's kind of funny. I don't know if you know this, but his name is Doug Bowser.
Wow.
His last name is Bowser.
That's crazy.
I feel like if you were born with that name, you have to be the president of Nintendo.
I think so.
I kind of wish I was born with the last name Mario for some reason. So I don't know. Kind of funny story. I think it was a kind of a unfortunate error that they made there, but I'm sure they don't they want to make a ton of money. They're a corporation, but they don't want people to think that, hey, you're too poor, you can't have our system. Just kind of a funny thing. All right, one other thing I wanted to get your opinion about, Devin. You were a pretty big Destiny fan for a couple years, right? Maybe more than a couple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Their newest game, Marathon, they've been working on for a while over at Bungie. And on Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, so 11 a.m. our time, they're doing the Marathon gameplay reveal showcase. So a big showcase to show what gameplay is like for their newest game, Marathon. It's, I think, an extraction shooter. I don't know a ton about that genre, but that kind of gives me like Rainbow Six vibes or something like that. But team-based, I would imagine, multiplayer focused. I don't know. Are you interested in this game? I think the sci-fi aesthetic is really cool, but multiplayer games are very tricky to capture, David.
I'm very interested. I've been a fan of Bungie for so long and was kind of sad when I heard that 343 was going to be doing Halo. That's right. That's correct.
That's right, yeah.
And Destiny 2 had my heart for so long. I just feel like this game, it's got to be decent.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big change. I don't think it's like MMO focused at all like Destiny is with like a big character builder or whatever. I think it's meant to be like a more gameplay, multiplayer focused extraction shooter. So
I'm stoked, yeah. I think it'll be sweet.
So anyways, watch out for that on Saturday. The 12th. I'm sure that's going to get a lot of eyes because Bungie, very well loved, and I do think they do like first-person shooting probably better than almost anyone. They do it very well. All right, Devin, does that mean we're
you got one more in the Mini-Nuke?
Oh, okay. Last up, Xbox has announced their summer showcase, which they usually do in June. This one is also in June, on June 8th. And it's going to be in 2 parts. Devin, do you want to read their little blurb here, those 2 paragraphs?
It all begins with our annual Xbox Game Showcase, bringing you a look at upcoming titles from across our first-party studios, in addition to incredible new titles from our third-party partners across the globe. This year, the show will be digital only. Our live stream will bring you everything you'll need to know about what's next for Xbox, no matter where in the world you're watching. Immediately following Showcase, the Outer Worlds 2 Direct will bring you inside the walls of Obsidian Entertainment, revealing new gameplay, details, and developer insights. straight from the people making the sequel to the award-winning first-person sci-fi RPG.
Cool. Excited about that. I do like a good showcase where tons of games are shown. I hope that it will reveal what is one of the first like replies to this tweet is this here with just the words, "It's time." So, I can only hope that German Strands here is right. But we'll see. Anyways, very excited about a good showcase. We'll see if PlayStation has one in the summer as well. All right, Devin, that brings us to rapid fire.
It sure does.
Stuff. A few more details have come out about the Switch 2. Both of them bummers, in my opinion. First up, the Switch 2 Joy-Con will not feature Hall effect sticks. Quote from Nintendo, Joy-Con 2's controllers have been designed from the ground up. They're not Hall effect sticks, but they feel really good.
I bet they do.
Yeah, I thought that quote was hilarious. Love that.
They just throw that in there. But they just feel really good.
Yeah,
it's not any advanced tech at all. They just feel good.
They're supposed to be a little bit bigger than the first Switches.
And a little more durable, they said.
Oh, yeah. And they feel good.
And they feel good, which is the part I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah. So that's a bummer. Hopefully they'll make them easy to replace if you get drift or want to put Hall effect ones in. Then the next one, also a bummer. Nintendo has confirmed Switch 2 will not have achievements. Wah, wah. I think only a few people in the world care about this, but I'm one of them. So
I appreciate achievements.
Yeah. I even care about them less now than I did a few years ago, but I still think it's a fun feeling. Like looking at the achievement list before I start a game, and I'm like, okay, I think I can get all of these, or these are the 35 of the 40 that I think I can get, so I'm going to focus on those. And these other
it changes your strategy or your approach to a first-time play.
Yeah, and I feel like you see more of a game.
Agree.
Usually, because you're like, oh, if I go out of my way a little bit, I can get this achievement, and that'll give me the high I want.
Add achievements, Nintendo, then we'll play your games longer.
Oof, probably. Devin, I didn't know this next one was happening, but it's out right now. I think just today. A free update for Vampire Survivors. It's called Emerald Diorama. I think I said it's free. I think I said that, right?
Yeah.
I don't really understand this story trailer that's going on here, but feel free to watch that if you would like to. Some weird characters coming around, but then they do show kind of the gameplay and update items. So there are how does it say? I think it says 7 new characters if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, 40 plus new attacks, and then 16 new characters and skins. So some of those might be reskins. A 7 biome new stage, whatever that means. Glimmer and showstopper mechanics. I forgot how much I like this game. It kind of makes me want to play it. And is that all they say here? It might be. But hey, free update. I love that. I like it when companies add free updates to their game, knowing hey, I could charge $5 for this, but if I add this free update, it'll probably just get more people to buy my game anyways, and so.
And I'm not Nintendo.
And I'm not, yeah, exactly. So, anyways, didn't mean to click on that Death Stranding thing. All right, so that was really cool. A little bit of a bummer here. Just like everything else in the world, prices are going up for stuff. And PlayStation Plus is going up in price for 15 countries in Latin America. Just really quickly, I'm going to blast through these. Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, and Uruguay.
No stutters.
Killed that.
Holy.
Because of there's the stutter. Because of global market conditions. So here's the new prices. They're on the screen if in case you were wondering. But I imagine that price increases are probably coming for almost every subscription all the time, it seems like. So, all right, this next one is kind of cool. There are new animated backgrounds for the PlayStation 5 Welcome tab that are coming out. It seems like they're slowly rolling them out to players, though. So not every player has all of them yet, but kind of like a cool background for your PlayStation 5. And like I said, they're animated, so they have like some visual flourish in the back for famous games like Ghost of Tsushima and Yotei and God of War and Horizon and Call of the Mountain and Lego Horizon and Ratchet and Clank and Astrobot and Days Gone, Demon Souls.
I would do Yotei or Demon Souls. Demon Souls because I loved the game. Yotei because the colors are so amazing.
Yeah, those are good colors. I'm not sure what one I like the best. I like the Astrobot one, to be honest. That deep blue looks nice, but yeah, the Demon Souls one is great too, like with him facing the castle. I don't know. So look out for those if you have a PlayStation 5. And then just in something silly, a few people have started lining up for the Switch 2 at the Nintendo store in New York, I believe. So I'm not sure if this is just a publicity stunt because this person is a YouTuber named Chicken Dog 64. I don't know who he is, but if you I guess wanted to be one of the first like dozen people that get one, you might have to get in line and camp there for 2 months.
Holy, that's good commitment.
Yeah, commitment and probably millions of YouTube views. Maybe that's what we need to do.
I think we just send me there.
Yep.
Take my streaming stuff and it's perfect.
You can be friends with Chicken Dog.
That would be amazing.
All right, couple new or other rapid fire ones. The Last of Us Season 2 is about to start on Sunday, but I think because of reviews and general interest, it has just been confirmed to be renewed for Season 3 from HBO. So good news, it will continue. That will be a continuation of the story from the Part 2 video game, but good to know. And Death Stranding is getting a movie from A24. I really like A24 stuff. They make like
agreed
high quality, like halfway indie, like new ideas, and a lot of horror.
It's very interesting because it seems the game is a movie.
Yeah, it kind of does, to be honest. They have like very big actors and crazy cutscenes and weird stuff. But it's being directed by Michael Sarnowski, who directed A Quiet Place Day 1, which I quite enjoyed. It was a good movie. So, anyways, I think I would maybe enjoy that more as a movie than a game, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe
I want to see like the weird vibes, but when I tried to play it, I was like, man, I'm just walking like across these fields delivering packages. That's not always what you do. There are parts with like action and guns and crazy monsters chasing you and stuff, but I didn't get to any of those. So, anyways, that's all the video game news. In board game news, continuing our news, Mini-Nuke. The most famous board game like awards of the year come from Germany. They're called the Spiel des Jahres, game of the year, basically. There's an American version called the American Tabletop Awards, and they've announced their 2025 winners. The winners are shown here, and they have 4 different categories. They have early gamers, and Captain Flip won that one. It also won, I think, the Spiel des Jahres one. Casual games is the Gang, which is a cooperative, poker game. And then, let's see, strategy games, Let's Go to Japan, which I have right behind us. I just haven't played yet. I've heard it's great, though. I actually 3D printed an insert for it, sleeved all the cards, was really excited to play it, and haven't done it yet.
And it's just chilling now?
It's right behind you.
Oh, shit.
And then we talked about this game just last week, I think, because there's an expansion to it on Kickstarter. But Fromage.
I don't like that word.
Fromage?
Fromage? Fromage? Fromage?
Fromage.
Too many ways to pronounce that word.
Yeah, that is true. Is won the Complex Games Award.
Complex Title Award.
Yes. Complex Title Award. It's the one with the cool Lazy Susan, though, shown here, where like you put your dude in and then you spin the Lazy Susan. And I just wanted to really quickly look at the games that have won the other years. It looks like they've been doing it since 2019. For early gamers, that was Blob Party last year, Boop, which I actually have, Happy City, Abandon All Artichokes, Draftosaurus, which I also have. So I have 2 of those, 5 there. I guess 6 if you count the one that won this year. Casual games, Sea Salt and Paper, I have that one. Turing Machine, Cubitos, The Crew, The Quest for Planet 9, I have that one. Ship Shape, I bought that one for my brother-in-law, I've played it, it's fun. And Quacks of Quedlinburg. Strategy games, Thunder Road, Vendetta, Planet Unknown, Cascadia, Calico, Wingspan, which I have, and Chronicles of Crime. I have an expansion or sequel to that one. I'm just bragging here
It's
about
nice.
the ones I have. And then Complex Games, last year, The White Castle. I have that one. Love that game. Carnegie, Lost Ruins of Arnak. Have that one. Dominations, Road to Civilization, The Taverns of Tiefenthal, and Root, which I do have as well. So, fun little, I like something fun about winning an award.
Yeah, agreed.
Maybe we should start the Super Game Brothers Awards. We can give awards.
We can, honestly. That would be so amazing.
I don't know what we'd give them for, but it would be kind of fun to give an award and then see, our award logo on some blog or website.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Board Game Wire. They are an excellent resource for board game news. Other than them, it's kind of hard to find good board game news unless you're scouring like Board Game Geek or have really good relationships with publishers, which is not kind of the vibe I'm going for. So, anyways, that's it for board game news this week, and I think that ends the news Mini-Nuke, Devin. So you know what that brings us to.
Crowdfunding Corner.
Nice. I like the tone and the enthusiasm that you said that with too.
Thank you.
It was amazing. The link doesn't like you though. It didn't come over.
Messed up.
Gotta love the link throwing in Chrome. Sometimes it's weird. And there it came over twice now. Here we go. That brings us to Crowdfunding Corner for the week of April 11th, 2025. We have 4 games this week I wanted to look at that have crowdfunding campaigns that end in like the next 5 to 14 days. There are a lot of games in crowdfunding. I can't highlight all of them, but these 4 I thought looked intriguing enough to at least peek at. So first one here is called Pirates of the High Teas. A game of piracy and pastries. And in this game, you are trying to give the captain of your pirate ship the best, coffee. Why would I say coffee? The best tea and some pastries. The best set of those things. So you're getting these cards and you're setting them, putting them together with other sets of cards. You can even jam like different ingredients together to make like unique little concoctions. It was made by the designer of the latest Calico game, Knitting Circle, which I've heard is pretty good. Seems like a pretty simple and light game as well. And then I think there are, as far as like the gameplay goes, you set your worker placement a little bit. You're placing your little pirate out on a board. And let me see if I can find the image here. And based on where you place them is what you get to do that turn. And then that also determines turn order for the next round from left to right. So if you choose a power farther to the right, you'll go later in turn order on the next turn. I do like games like that have that king domino system where, okay, I can choose a better tile, or in this case, a better action, but I'll go later in the next turn. So I have to weigh the cost-benefit analysis there a little bit. So that's, what was it? What do I call it? Pink Pirates of the High Teas. Wanted to just look and see. It looks like it's $39. Comes with a little mini expansion before shipping. That one's on Kickstarter until April 17th. So for 6 more days. Next up is an engine building combo card auction game called Raising Rabbits. Cute animals, very popular in board games lately. And to be honest, I really like the name of this company, Rebel Raptor, with that funny little
that is way cool.
Baby Velociraptor in a little purple cardboard box. I don't have any games for them. I think it's their first one they've ever designed.
It reminds me kind of maybe Pandasaurus. Kind of a fun animal.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, this is Pandasaurus's baby.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, little Rebel Raptor Saurus. In this game, you are getting different rabbit cards, and different rabbit meeples. You'll be placing out cubes to take different actions. That kind of reminds me of a Wingspan a little bit, and the different rabbits have different like special abilities that can combo together. You're building like your own little board, and the more of them you get, they can combo different ways, and so that kind of becomes the engine building part um, of the game, because your turns become a little more combo-y as the game goes on. And then I think whoever just has the most victory points, probably with these ribbon tokens, wins. You can, like, I think, take one of your best rabbits to the fair or whatever and win, yeah, a show rabbit, win prizes for whoever put the best one out to show. And so there's like, I think, a little bit of playing with the other players and like who's gonna have the best one to show for the round. And you can breed rabbits on the breeding boards. Has some cute little pieces. And I think that this designer, I think it was his first design, and I can't remember if he did the art as well. He maybe didn't, but I feel like it did say that somewhere. It doesn't probably matter too much, but looks like a pretty fun game in my opinion. A little bit more like combo-tastic and involved than some of the other ones that we're looking at this week, even though it definitely has like a friendly and welcoming art style. So that's Raising Rabbits, a cute strategy rabbit game. On Kickstarter, also until the 17th. Next is one that I think looks weird. But because it's so weird and unique, I thought it was worth at least mentioning. It's called Kuars. Or I don't think it's pronounced quartz. It's like Kuars. I don't know. The idea here is you are playing like capture the flag against the other players, and whoever can capture, it's not a flag, it's like this crystal in the middle of the board, wins immediately. Or if no one has captured it by the end of the game, then whoever got the most points will be the winner. And so you're controlling these different monsters on the board, and I think each player will control 3 of them, if I remember correctly. And each monster has their own deck of cards that you shuffle together and draw from to make your hand, which is kind of cool. You shuffle the different decks together. I'm trying to get to the how to play section. Here we go. Yeah, so you have different sets of these monsters: the athletes, the gluttons, the horror monsters, and then you kind of play as like these weird creatures. Some of them just look like that's a snake librarian with a bookcase on his back.
Snake book.
That looks like a calculator turned into a tank.
Math tank.
That one is a watering can with a brain in it. That one's a garbage can turned into a wheelbarrow.
Garbage barrel.
That's an elephant basketball hoop. I don't know.
LeBron trunks.
Yeah. So they're very like quirky kind of vibes here, but they have fun miniatures if you get the version with miniatures. I kind of like the quirky weirdness.
Agreed.
And then you build the arena, and you'll be moving these characters around after you've picked up the crystal. Then it like limits how far you can move, and you're trying to like then with your other characters like attack the other players to protect your monster that has the crystal in order to get it back to your base. So it's very much like capture the flag. Anyways, check that one out if you want to look at a game that looks very unique, in my opinion. That is Kuarts on GameFound for 7 more days until April 18th. And then probably like the most mainstream of the 4 this week is Helldivers 2, the board game. This is being made by Steamforged Games, who is, I think, the same partner that PlayStation chose for the Horizon Zero Dawn board game. And I think maybe a big God of War one and a couple of others. So they've worked with them before. And this game tries to like recapture the feelings of Helldivers 2, the video game, which is a very fun game where like you can accidentally blow up your friends, and you're like spreading democracy by destroying the aliens, and there are big monsters that can kill you very easily. So similar kind of vibes here. So when you play, you will choose a class of Helldiver, and then you can actually customize them by choosing like the different gear and stuff that you have during the game. You can also choose difficulty levels, if you want it to be more difficult or not. I'm trying to find, oh yeah, here you go. Customize your Helldiver. So you put different cards out to choose like which stratagems you want to take, and you have ammunition dice, so you have to find like pick up ammo during the game as well. And again, which of those stratagems you're going to use. And there are humongous miniatures if you like that kind of thing. I'll show you the Bile Titan in a minute, and it's ratio to how big it is compared to one of those Helldiver miniatures is just hilarious. So I'll show you that in a second. But how it works, you're basically moving around, trying to fight, protect things. Depending on the mission that you choose, it might be like just destroy them all, or protect this, or something like that. And you can like attack, move, or you can use your stratagems, and you have to similar to the game where you have to put in the D-pad directional buttons to use the stratagem. You have to be able to like put your tokens in the right spot in order to cover up the correct icons to use that stratagem. And then the enemies also attack. One thing that I think is really cool, you choose a card from your hand to determine what action you want to take on that turn, and everybody does that at the same time. And then you take those cards and a card for each type of enemy that's out, and you take that stack of cards and shuffle it, and then you put it on a board. I want to show that to you really quickly. Maybe they don't show that board here, but you put it onto like an initiative board, so randomly drawn, and then from left to right is kind of the turn order. And so you might get to go first, or the aliens might get to go first. And after every 4 turns, then an event card is drawn that might throw some other like wrinkle into the mix. So a bit of craziness, and you don't know exactly when you're going to get to take your action. And then you can obviously attack and do damage, shoot your weapons. You roll dice and spend your ammunition tokens in order to attack the enemies. And if you are doing an attack, you can do like a coordinated attack where anyone else that's in range of your teammates can like join you in the attack, and it becomes more powerful because you're attacking together. If you like throw a grenade and one of your friends is accidentally in range or something, like friendly fire is always on, just like in the video game. Here is the Bile Titan miniature. It's 210 millimeters across, I think it said. So that's the Helldiver miniature there, and then that bad big boy.
Wow.
So very, very big. Obviously, the pledge that has all of the miniatures is pretty pricey, but Steamforged Games does this kind of game style pretty often. And then they have tons of expansion content as well. You can get more Helldiver types. This expansion lets you use the Patriot exosuit, which I think is in the game now. I haven't played it in a little while. And then there's an expansion with different kinds. This is the Bile Titan, and then different kinds of these aliens. There's one that adds this Factory Strider, one that adds the automatons, I think they're called. This Impaler as well. I think there's an automaton. Yeah, automatons expansion that adds them. I like that theirs are red. I think those look cool in contrast to the yellow Terminids. So, cooperative games, kind of I don't know. They're not my favorite genre, and especially if I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to move here and shoot at this guy, and he's going to take 2 damage, and then if you want to help me, like come over here and you do it too. I'd rather just play the video game where I'm controlling that and like feeling the like vibration, watching the bomb explode, and doing the victory pose myself. But for people that like that kind of experience in a game, I think it looks cool. So anyways, that's Helldivers 2. Has a lot of different pledge levels. The shipping's expensive because it's shipping a lot of stuff. You can see the big Hell Commander pledge is 246 euros. I think that comes with everything. The base pledge is $61. So not a cheap game by any estimation. So, anyways, that is Helldivers 2. It's on GameFound. Well, real quick, before I say that, I want to see this one. Shrieker. I don't think I've seen that enemy. Have you?
No, I don't know what that is.
Must be a new one as well. We haven't played
the game. I look forward to dying from it.
Yeah, me too. It makes me think I just want to play this game on my PlayStation again pretty soon. But that one's on GameFound for 11 more days until April 22nd. All right, Devin, those are the 4 games this week. Which one is going to earn the brand new award from Super Game Brothers podcast for Game of the Week for Devin?
Oh, I don't know. It's tough. I wanted to pick Helldivers because I had so much fun playing it, but I also feel like it's probably kind of hard to nail a board game perfectly after a video game when you're trying to mimic mechanics and things. But maybe it's good.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? So I'm going to choose the weird one, Quartz.
Oh, wow.
It just seemed so odd to me. And
yeah, it is.
So I choose Quartz.
Quartz. Whoever, I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, Quartz. I do think it looks very unique. And what's it say? 25 minutes per player. It does seem like it could end faster though if somebody like was able to get in there and get that crystal. But very unique. Kind of gives me a. There was that Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare game, which was a third-person shooter where you could like play as a cactus bush shooting like pine needles or whatever. Pine needles, not the right word. Cactus needles. Gives me that kind of vibe, like art style wise. Good choice, Devin. I also think Helldivers could be really cool. But since it's not my type of game, I'm not going to pick it for Game of the Week either. I'm going to choose Raising Rabbits.
I knew it.
I don't know that I love like the art style. There's nothing against it. I just if it's like a strategy rabbit game, I don't know. I maybe wish it looked like a little more strategy like, because like if I open this deck of cards and see Dwarf Hotot right there, it looks like I've opened like I don't know, Candyland or something.
Yeah, it looks like you're just here to just collect those for cuteness.
Yeah. Sometimes I really like when a game has that dichotomy of like it's very complex, but the artwork is like would make it seem like it's very light, and like those things are at odds with each other. Is a fun vibe.
It's like that one game that was like set way in the past. It had like the milk meeple, like the
Sweetlands.
Is that a good example?
That's a very good example. Like cartoony kind of anime characters with like the milk meeple
but it was
and the
supposed
ice
to be
cream
difficult,
meeples.
wasn't it?
It's very complex. I'm getting that game later
Killed
this year.
it.
So yeah, very good call out. But I watched his video kind of explaining how the game works, and I think it looks pretty solid and a bit more medium complex than it might appear at first. So that's my pick of the week, Raising Rabbits. And that's going to do it for Crowdfunding Corner for the week of April 11th, 2025. Make sure to join us next week, I think for episode 55. All right, Devin. That's the end of the episode. Should we it's already 10 o'clock. I think we just get out of here. Well, we've done so much Game Duel recently. I think we give it like a couple week break, and then we'll hop back on that bad boy.
Perfect.
Does that sound good to you? All right. Well, thanks so much for listening and watching. Listening to and watching. English. I don't know words. The Super Game Brothers podcast. Make sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/supergamebrothers. Our giveaway at supergamebrothers.com. And check out Devin's streams on Twitch at Player4. He plays a variety of fun games over there, and it's generally a good time with kind, happy people. And he's also on TikTok at Player4 there too, I think. Or Player4 TV on TikTok, I think.
Yeah, you can probably find it either way. But...
yeah, I think it's one of those. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for episode 55.
Bye.